In this clip, we're going to be talking about fractional and negative indices. So we're trying to work out the value of 9 to the power of a half. Now, a power of a half basically just square roots the number. So really, this would just be the square root of 9, which is 3. Now, for power of a half square roots, what do we think the power of a third is going to do? It's going to cube root the number. So 8 to the power of a third is the cube root of 8, which is just 2. Now, part C, we've got 125 to the power of 2/3 this time. So there's kind of two parts to our power. We've got the 2 on top and the 3 on bottom. And I like to just get rid of those one by one. So that 3 on the bottom, just like it did in the previous question, that 3 on the bottom, when we have that, it just cube roots the number. So we can get rid of this 3 on the bottom just by cube rooting 125. Now the cube root of 125 is just 5. And so now we just have a power of 2 because we basically gotten rid of that 3 on the bottom by cube rooting. And 5 to the power of 2, 5 squared is just 25. Okay, next up, a negative power, 5 to the power of -1. When you have a negative power, it basically just finds the reciprocal of the number. So in other words, it flips it upside down. So 5 to the power of -1 is just going to be 1/5. Now in this next question here, you can see we've got a power of -2. So not only does it have a negative, it also has a power of 2. Well, let's get rid of the negative part of the power by flipping this upside down. So that would be 3/4 for a start. And now we've just got the 2 left to deal with in the power. And that of course just means squared. So we square the top of the fraction and we square the bottom of the fraction, giving us 9/16. Okay, and what they'll do sometimes is they'll mix both negative and fractional powers together. And all you've got to do is unravel it one layer at a time. So we know that the negative in the power just flips this upside down for a start. So we can say this becomes 4/25. And then we'd just be left with a power of 3/2 now because we've gotten rid of the negative by flipping it. And then we know that the 2 on the bottom of this fraction, just like this original one here, square roots the number. So we're going to square root both of these. So that would be 2/5. And then all we'll be left with is that power of 3. And that just means cubed. So 2 cubed is 8 and 5 cubed is 125. It's definitely worthwhile knowing the first 5 cube numbers off by heart. So 1 cubed, 2 cubed, 3 cubed, 4 cubed and 5 cubed. And question number 4, again the minus power is just going to flip them upside down for a start. Now we've got to deal with this power of a half. Now when you're dealing with a whole number in here like 25, we think about this half as square rooting the number. So square rooting 25, we're just going to get 5. Now for the y to the power of 8 to the power of a half, we just recall the index law that we talked about in the previous video, which says when you have a power raised to a power, you times them together. So that's going to be y to the power of 8 times a half, so a half of 8 is 4. And that's going to be over. Now 9 to the power of a half is just the square root of 9, which is 3. And then x to the power of 6 to the power of a half, power to a power, times them together. So 6 times a half is 3. So that'll be x to the power of 3. Here's some for you to try. Pause the video and give them a go.